I am Jake Kwan. What started as a weekend of music and memories quickly became a test of who I was under pressure. You never think one moment, one bump in a crowd, could flip your night upside down. But it did. And it changed something in me too. See, this festival was more than just music for me. It was a celebration, a return to life after 2 years of isolation and heartbreak. My dad passed away last fall. I hadn't been the same since. Work? Barely functional. Social life? Non-existent. But music kept me breathing. The day of the festival, I felt alive again. We hit the road at 6 a.m., Luis driving, Sam DJing like his life depended on it. I was in the back seat, window down, letting wind whip through my hair as mountains rolled past us. It was perfect. And for once, I let myself believe the weekend would stay that way. We reached the venue just as the sun started kissing the trees. Everyone was buzzing, blankets spread out like little islands of hope and joy. We claimed a spot, right of the stage, close but not crushed in. It was during the opener that I offered to get the drinks. Said I'd be back in 5. Said it like it was nothing. 2 open cups in one hand, beer can in the other. I was dodging people and dancing shoulders, grinning like a fool when the crowd shifted suddenly. And I bumped into her. Glitter makeup, oversized sunglasses, attitude like a wall. She looked down at her shirt like I'd ruined her entire designer collection. I tried to say sorry. I tried to be nice, but she wasn't having it. What happened next, you already know. Her ripping the cups from my hands, drinks flying, her smirk like poison in the air. And me? I lost it. That beer pouring down her head wasn't just about sticky revenge. It was a scream from deep inside me, from every time I was walked on, overlooked, or told to stay quiet. It was about power, about not being the guy people think they can humiliate without consequence. I turned and walked away from her, and walked toward the man I was finally ready to become. But of course, things don't end that easily. People saw me dump the beer. No one saw her assault me first. Festival staff approached later in the evening when I was laughing with my friends. They asked me to step aside. My heart dropped, but I didn't run. I told them everything. Not with anger, just calm truth. I even pointed out the other attendees around us who had drinks spilled on them too. A few backed me up. Thank God. The staff were fair, if skeptical. They let me go with a warning. They said if anything else happened, I'd be out. Luis was ready to argue on my behalf. Sam was still, confused, his taco mid-bite. But I shook it off. I wasn't going to let her take more from me than she already had. So we stayed, danced, laughed, screamed our lungs out, and when the headliner came on, I let it all go. I looked around, at strangers jumping in unison, at lights like stars falling, and I felt whole again. I felt free. And that girl, she was nowhere to be seen, or so I thought. She came back into my story in the weirdest way possible. It wasn't until the next morning that I got tagged in a video on social media. My stomach dropped when I saw it. A shaky clip of me dumping the beer on her. The caption, "This psycho soaked my girlfriend last night. Hope karma bites him." I clicked the comments. They were a war zone. Some people were siding with me. Others were calling for my head. I felt sick. I messaged the person who posted it. Her boyfriend, I assumed. I explained what really happened. Told him to check with others around us if he wanted the full story. No response. Just more comments piling in. I tried not to look at the video again, but it spread like wildfire. Some festival meme pages picked it up. I was suddenly the face of overreacting white guy at concerts. People were stitching the clip, adding fake dialogue, satirizing what I must have been thinking. It would have been funny if it wasn't about me. My boss saw it. My aunt messaged my mom. My world felt smaller and louder at the same time. I wanted to hide. But Luis, he wasn't having it. "Bro," he said one night while we sat in his car eating greasy burgers, "you either let these clowns define you or you get ahead of it." And that's when the idea came. We made our own video. Luis and Sam helped me film it. We reenacted the entire scene, this time with all the context. Me balancing drinks, getting grabbed, drinks being flung, and finally, the moment I lost it and flipped the beer. It was dramatic, sure, but honest, and we posted it with the caption, The full story they won't show you. We uploaded it to TikTok, Instagram Reels, even YouTube Shorts. It got traction slowly, but then someone big reposted it, a known DJ who had performed at the same festival. He wrote, "Saw this happen from the stage. Solid reaction, bro." Just like that, the narrative flipped. Comments poured in, "Wait, so she attacked him first? I'd have done worse. Glad you stood up for yourself, man." That video got over 3 million views in a week. People started tagging the original account, demanding they take it down. Some even apologized for jumping to conclusions. The boyfriend's account went private. The meme pages deleted their posts. I felt like I could breathe again. But this wasn't just about clearing my name anymore. It was about something bigger. It was about calling out performative outrage. How easily people rage without context and how easily stories get twisted when you're silent. So I wasn't silent. I did a podcast interview with a creator who covers social justice and digital reputation. I told everything, start to finish. I didn't bash the girl. I didn't even name her. I just laid out the events and how fast a lie can ruin someone's life. The podcast blew up. It got written about on a few blogs, even mentioned on a local news site. My DMs were flooded, not with hate, but with stories. People telling me about similar things that happened to them. The misjudged moments, the unfair pylons. One girl said her ex lied about her online after they broke up and she lost friends over it. I read every message. I answered as many as I could, and I realized something. My story wasn't unique, but what made it different is that I pushed back with truth, and people listened. Not everyone, of course. Some still thought I was wrong, some always will. But I had my voice back, my reputation back, and weirdly, I had a small following now, people rooting for me, encouraging me, sharing their own moments of quiet revenge. The festival, it became a symbol, not just of music and fun, but of clarity. I learned that day that you can't always avoid being misunderstood, but you can choose how you respond. And I chose to fight, not with fists or fire, but with facts and calmness. A few weeks later, I was walking downtown when I saw her, yes, her. The glitter girl from the festival. She was walking out of a smoothie shop wearing earbuds, and for a second, our eyes locked. She stopped, her lips parted, maybe to say something, but I didn't give her the power. I nodded, soft smile, and I walked right past her. That was my real revenge, not beer, not video, not comments, but peace. That night, I posted a final video, closure, I called it. I thanked the people who supported me, showed the positive messages, blurred names, of course, and ended with a clip of me at the festival stage, hands in the air, eyes closed, just feeling the music. No drama, no hate, just release. That video didn't go viral like the others. It didn't need to. It was for me, and it felt perfect. A few days later, I got an email from the festival organizers. They were planning a video series on festival redemption stories and wanted to feature mine. I paused, staring at the screen. Then I said yes, because why not? Let them know that even in a messy, chaotic world, sometimes karma has Wi-Fi. The shoot for the festival redemption stories was surreal. They brought me back to the same venue, same time of day. Even some of the same lighting rigs were already being set up for a different event. I stood there on the gravel where it had all started, remembering the weight of those cups in my hands, the pressure of bodies pressing forward, the moment my drink was ripped away from me, and that cold splash of indignation that made me snap. But standing there now, fresh air in my lungs, camera crew behind me, and a quiet confidence under my skin, I didn't feel anger. I felt peace. I told my story again, but this time to a calm, listening lens, and I told it not to defend myself, but to teach. Sometimes people explode because they've been swallowing too much for too long. And sometimes the loudest revenge is a quiet refusal to be shamed. I was honest about my overreaction. I didn't pretend I handled it perfectly. I said, pouring that beer on her head wasn't planned. It was primal. It was the tipping point of months, maybe years, of letting people treat me like I didn't matter. The producer nodded silently as I spoke. His crew kept rolling even after I finished, letting the silence carry the emotion. I like that. Not everything needs to be cut and polished. Some moments deserve space to breathe. The episode went live 3 weeks later. My DMs blew up again, but this time from people who said my story gave them courage. I finally confronted my boss. I left a toxic friend group. I stopped apologizing for standing up for myself. That's when it hit me. My story didn't go viral because it was dramatic. It spread because it was real. Because people are tired of swallowing injustice. People are tired of being expected to just smile and nod and move on. So I kept telling stories. I launched a small podcast of my own, called it Line in the Sand. Each episode, someone's turning point, the moment they said enough. And it wasn't just revenge. It was boundaries, awakening, healing. One guest talked about walking out of a gaslighting relationship after 10 years. Another spoke about quitting a job where he was being harassed by a supervisor, then starting his own business. And every time, at the end, I asked the same question. If you could speak to the person who wronged you, what would you say now? Some answered with anger, some with forgiveness, some just laughed. But all of them? They felt lighter after answering, and so did. Because turning pain into power isn't just satisfying, it's transformative. It rewrites the narrative from victim to survivor, from pushed down to rising strong, and that's what my beer moment was. It wasn't just payback, it was my origin story. In a weird way, I'm grateful for her now. She didn't ruin my night, she gave it a climax. She didn't wreck my reputation, she helped me discover my voice, and that voice, it's helped others find theirs too. So if you've ever been shoved, pushed, silenced, humiliated, remember this. You get to write your story, you get to choose your response, you get to be the hero, and sometimes heroes carry beer cans.